Hello, hello! Welcome back to my stream. It is once again I, your humble host Sketchy, on this acceptable looking Friday. I hesitate to call it beautiful, but hey, we work with what we had. So, we are back with Reverse 1999. We'll be finishing up chapter 7 today and starting the first event that I was recommended, the Florid to the Golden City, I believe it's called. I've got it unlocked and ready to go, so we'll be getting to it shortly because we have barely any parts left of the chapter 7. So it's only just the ending of it, literally, and then the event. What's new? Well, I upgraded Sodesby's Euphoria to max. She has a form of auto-healing for us now. Another one at least, so that's nice. My team becomes even more immortal, which is nice. And otherwise, nothing much changed. I've gathered some resources for another pool today, so we can start the stream with it. Maybe I'll get another Paper Heron, who knows. 2 in a row would be kind of crazy, but hey, it happened before. It can happen again. Huh. Okay, let's give myself my daily dopamine fix with it. Why not? And that's a 5-star. Okay. Acceptable. Just dupes this time. Fair enough. Nothing groundbreaking there. Oh, also, I've changed my camera arrangement a little bit, as you can see. It's taking less space now, hopefully. And it should be a little bit less distracting with the different frame. Hope it looks better now.
Why the sullen look,
I'll appreciate
Something
feedback
weighing
on
on
this front.
Come.
I'll be fiddling with it some more down the line, probably. Trying to adjust it a little bit more, but it should be fine, I think. For now, at least. So yeah. Okay. Let's get to the story. Without further ado. We've ended at this sub-chapter on this part. This may be the world's first trilingual dictionary. Okay. Start with it.
No, we are not aware of that. 37 and I had just entered the cave when the investigator sent back the ritual.
So, we are getting back to the point where Vertin and the Foundation are exchanging their notes on the ritual and their findings. Okay. The transmission is weakening. Mrs. Radio masters all her strength, struggling to hold onto the fleeting signal in the air.
I see. Thank you for the thorough explanation, Madam Lucy. I'll make sure to inform the members of Apiran.
Is it really possible to remember all those numbers and technical details? 37 probably can.
If possible. Could you kindly explain this to them again after we set up the communication device?
The lab has never been busier since the day it was built. The scattered files are neatly gathered, and more integers have come to help sort through the years of documents. Mrs. Radio is placed next to the IDM with a sense of reverence. The computer screen lights up, a familiar voice comes out of the speakers.
The next thing's the acoustic components. Totally understandable if you don't have any on hand. Regulus, can you help me find some...
What are you saying, mate? Of course, this great disc jockey would have the acoustic components. I'll have you know, I made friends with the dolphins as soon as I had the chance, hoping they'd retrieve some of the radio components from Apple II.
Huh, okay. That's fair enough.
And guess what? They actually found some!
She attaches the acoustic component onto the IDM, beaming with excitement.
Hello? Testing, 1, 2, 3.
That doesn't sound all that better, honestly. The screeching feedback forces everyone to cover their ears.
Perfect. You finally have a communicator equipped with a speaker. Before, there were too many ears for one tiny radio.
Right.
Ah,
What's that?
What now? Another attack?
not quite. That's the sound of our colleague, Medicine Pocket. Hard at work.
The hell is it doing, honestly? Finally, a real communicator for Team Timekeeper. Right. It's a step up, if nothing else. X gets up, skirts around Medicine Pocket's mess on the floor, and casually makes himself a cappuccino.
How goes it on your end, Verton? The storm is only 8 hours away. Has the immunity zone on the island stopped shrinking?
I think so. No one in the Hall of Appearance affected by the storm syndrome so far. The immunity zone seems stable for now.
What made it shrink in the first place? I'm still guessing that Arcana did some shenanigans on her end to make it happen.
Manus Vindictae and the humans have left. There should be no further destruction on the island.
Don't jinx it.
So the decay of the immunity zone is not linear. It seems to be influenced by the islanders' mindset toward the truth, and it eventually reaches a stopping point.
Huh, so it's belief-based? I guess that's possible, considering how Arcanum seems to work. He puts down the cup and thinks about everything he heard from the call.
Could it be that the ritual on this island, rooted in the power of faith and belief, serves to amplify only the radius of the storm immunity? Fascinating.
I mean, maybe.
That can wait, Researcher X.
Get Walk X. Ulrich, impatient as ever, interrupts his musings with a more important concern. There are still pressing matters to discuss with Timekeeper through the device.
There's one thing I'd like to confirm, Timekeeper. About the question Miss 37 asked in the cave. How can we escape the darkness of the phenomenal world and be freed from the emanation forever?
Right.
To my understanding, that is almost the same as asking how we can be immune to the storm.
Well, is it now? There could be different interpretations to it. Being out of reach from the storms would also count. For example, if the storms are... Assuming that the storms are limited to our planet, you could technically go to another planet and then be unaffected by the storm. So that's not the only answer possible there. Ah, Jesus. 1 second. More spam on chat. Those spam bots are relentless, honestly. Off with your head. Okay.
Yes, and 37 also said the transcendental truth was beyond the limits of her mortal flesh. A Piran answered her with an eerie sound, one that could drive anyone mad just by hearing it.
Right, it was effectively incomprehensible.
It was then that the Scroll 6 gave her unfurled and transcribed the sound into a string of numbers, providing us with the code.
Yes, that's the key to our problem. We both received a solution to the same question simultaneously. Immunity against the storm. This could be our Rosetta Stone, Timekeeper. We found our own Rosetta Stone!
Well, yeah, making a lot of assumptions there, but sure, let's say that's the case for now. His voice rises in excitement as he becomes fully immersed in his thoughts. Meanwhile, his listener's mind is starting to wander with a big question mark in the air.
Rosetta Stone?
Well, yeah, Rosetta Stone was a stone tablet with the same set of words and the same text transcribed in several languages, from what I remember, simultaneously, the same text, and it was used as a way to decode one or more languages included in that. Previously unknown to the researchers, the way I understood it.
Allow me to explain.
The director interjects with a well-timed explanation. Oh, well, there we go. My exposition wasn't needed.
The Rosetta Stone is a stone tablet inscribed with a decree in 3 different languages: hieroglyphs, Demotic, and Ancient Greek.
Right, there we go. And because they knew Ancient Greek, they were able to decode the other 2, from what I remember.
Hieroglyphs were the sacred writing for the divine, while Demotic script was known as the language of the people. Both scripts were ancient Egyptian, lost to time when the tablet was discovered.
Right.
However, because scholars were still able to read Ancient Greek, and through comparing the 3 inscriptions that all said the same thing, they were finally able to understand the hieroglyphs. And now, we too have our own set of inscriptions to decode.
Effectively, the arcane ritual and the math transcriptions of it. At least we are assuming that that's the case.
The first is similar to hieroglyphs, as the truth Miss 37 heard in the cave is completely unintelligible and can drive people insane just by listening to it.
Right.
The second is like Demotic script, a ritual we obtain from Arcana that can place a curse upon those who read it aloud. It cannot be handled by ordinary people.
But math can be.
Finally, the numerical code you shared with us is like the readable Ancient Greek, without any divine powers, but crucial in deciphering the other 2 inscriptions.
How intriguing!
37's voice chimed in over the line, clearly excited by the analogy.
That is to say, if we work together and combine our research, we may unlock even deeper knowledge that only belongs to the divine?
Exactly. We're looking for the same answer to the same question, like how the same decree is inscribed onto the tablet in different forms. And just like the inscriptions on the tablet, we have 3 versions of the ritual.
That's assuming a lot again, but let's go with that.
If we can delve into the essence of the ritual and master its inner workings, we may eventually transcribe it into a side-effect-free ritual that can be used by everyone.
Right.
Yes. It should work, because the nature of the universe flows in all things alike.
I'm glad you think so, Miss 37.
The girl on the other end of the phone is equally ecstatic. There is no question that they are in sync on this incredible idea. The ferrofluid happily swirls around in its fishbowl. Regrettably, his boss is a practical thinker.
Your hypothesis is based on too many assumptions, Ulrich. It requires further refinement and confirmation.
I'm with Lucy on that one, because honestly, that math equation and the sound that 37 got don't have to be necessarily the exactly same thing as the ritual that Arcana has. Arcana, rather.
We now have valid incantations. We should continue in this direction.
Her words are like a bucket of ice water dumped over their heads. As always, the robot steers them to a more practical path.
You mentioned the word transcribe just like the timekeeper did. It holds the answer to improving the ritual.
You mean?
The scroll you mentioned that can bridge the gap between you and the Supreme Existence during communion. It is the scroll that transcribed the eerie sound and saved 37 from the lethal side effects.
Right.
Does this mean it could potentially lessen the negative effects of the immunity incantation?
Well, now you are playing with assumptions, Lucy. But maybe. Everyone in the lab realizes it at once. Reducing the side effects is faster than trying to come up with a perfect side effect-free incantation from scratch. Yeah, but it's risky. Now, the solution is right in front of them, the scroll that can solve Arcanum with Arcanum.
Wait, Madam Lucy. Let me take it from here.
We would like to borrow this scroll for research. If you lend us this scroll, we will make significant advancements on the research, and we promise to provide every assistance you require in the future.
The ferrofluid flinches into the shape of a droplet of sweat. It was too late to stop her. I don't think they are going to like this idea. The atmosphere on the other end of the call changes dramatically.
Lend you the scroll.
The custodian leaps up from her corner in disbelief.
Are you asking us to give the legacy of Apiron, our most cherished possession, to you? A scientific research organization that serves humans?
The lab falls silent, reflecting the seriousness of the request. For a school of thought that has always kept its knowledge hidden, this is a major threat to its core beliefs and sacred vows. But the silence is broken again by that cheery voice. The voice that always questions and doubts. 37, I'm guessing.
Why not? We are seekers of truth, are we not?
Okay, that's oversimplifying it, but sure. Cycle of history. This looks like the end of the story, I'm guessing, but we'll see.
Heed my words, 37. That scroll is a sacred relic passed down from the wise sages of Apiron, safeguarded by the Sixes and entrusted only to believers who brave Apiron's test.
Okay.
It has the power of harmonization and reconciliation. You may keep it until you fully grasped the secrets shared with you by Apiron. But you will not share it with some organization affiliated with humans, and certainly do not allow them to study it.
Well, this is not surprising to me. Still a bit disappointing. The inevitable disagreement is finally upon them. 888 grabs 37 by the arm and drags her out of the lab.
Why? Sharing this scroll is sharing wisdom and knowledge with others. Like what we have done through our doctrinal meetings and receiving visitors from the outside world. It is for the sake of spreading the light of truth. Is it not?
Technically not wrong.
The human researchers. They have also discovered many brilliant theorems. Before the emanation cut us off, we had these types of communications with the outside world. It was fun. Unlike what came after. I'm sure by sharing this scroll, the code from Aperon will be deciphered. I must prove that the light of truth still glimmers.
She stands her ground. She is right. With their fate shattered, people need something new to keep them going. And this time, her suggestion makes sense in a practical way, a quality often missing from her previous ideas. With the island no longer shielding them, the school must find another way to survive the emanation. In their moment of weakness, they need a powerful ally more than ever. Right, because Manus Vindicta is skedaddled. They are gone. There's no support from them, and I doubt there will be in the future.
But how can you be sure the scroll will only be used for researching the ritual?
I mean, even if it wouldn't be, what else can it be used for? Other research? What of it?
How can you ensure that the humans won't exploit it to create weapons of destruction?
Because they've got bigger fish to fry at the moment. The custodian looks up at the fractured dome. The speckled daylight illuminates her cool complexion.
Before joining the School of Aperon, my people and I had wandered the world for ages. Our long lives made it difficult for us to truly fit in with the world.
Right. What kind of creature is she even? That wasn't ever explained.
Daughter of Truth, I implore you to hear the words of this old soul.
She looks like a night elf, effectively. And she was called Banshee before, I think?
Humans have indeed achieved incredible feats, and their enlightenment has even touched my soul. But unfortunately, most humans do not have an inherent respect for knowledge or its boundaries. They only chase after power blindly.
You are not wrong, actually.
I have experienced it firsthand. I tried to guide and persuade them, but ultimately I failed. That is why
God damn it.
I have experienced it firsthand. I tried to guide and persuade them, but ultimately I failed. That is why I am here now.
Right.
What you are deciding to share is not only knowledge, but it is a ritual, a piece of power. A ritual designed for harmonization, created for the devout believers, and created for the sages seeking the truth.
I have to do something with my camera background eventually. It's really too bright.
Yet, on the other hand, it can also be used for unspeakable horrors, such as silencers on guns, suppressors on rifles, or even on nuclear bombs.
And how would you know that?
It won't.
How do you know that?
888. I won't let this happen. I promise.
Honestly, I'm not sure, Vertin, if you can promise that. You don't have that much of a pull in the Foundation yet.
You can't promise anything, Miss Verton. You're too young.
It's less about age and more about the position she holds. I mean, she's important, but not that important.
Too inexperienced to comprehend the dark nature of history.
A valid and powerful observation. The hall itself, ravaged by war, now stands as a testament to the Banshee's claim. Even 37 is speechless.
But it's the truth we're talking about. What could possibly outweigh the truth?
An unexpected voice speaks up. To everyone's surprise, the rhetorician does not raise any objections this time.
If all it takes is lending someone a scroll to unlock unspeakable secrets, why not do it?
Well, she just explained why.
Haven't the failures of the past 4 years proven that a stagnant mindset does not bring forth the light of truth?
Not wrong.
As individuals devoted to critical thinking, should the pursuit of truth not be our primary goal in life? My brothers and sisters, do not let hatred stop you, and don't let the dust of the phenomenal world blind you.
210!
He waves his hand and gets up from his seat.
And remember, it was 37 who passed the test and earned the scroll. It is her rightful responsibility to handle this situation.
But there will be no more life after that atomic bomb, lol. Well, you are kind of wrong about that. Unfortunately, there will be, and it will be miserable. Atomic bombs don't kill everyone. They just kill most people and make the remaining ones who survive extremely miserable until they die afterwards. Looks elsewhere, his demeanor suggesting a lack of interest rather than genuine support for the argument.
Otherwise, what other choice do we have?
Well, you are kind of shit out of luck and out of options at this point. He shrugs and walks out of the hall. Behind him, the star of Hermes clenches her fist with resolve. To the murmuring, doubting crowd, she speaks again, loud and clear.
I have made up my mind. I will share the scroll with Laplace. We will decipher the code together.
Okay. We'll see how it goes. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
The truth is the truth. It should not be swayed by anything else. Please, everyone, cast your pebble if you agree with me. If Six were here, he too would have called for a vote.
He probably would. That's true. Some of them decide to leave the hall instead, but most stay and use pebbles in their hands to speak for them. So most abstained. Well, maybe not most, but a significant portion of them. Her victory arrives with a gentle sigh from the corner. Okay. War and smoke have long left this place. An area has been cleared for takeoff.
Miss Lilia, are you certain about this?
Absolutely. See the nice weather today? Much better than the day we landed.
Okay.
No wind, no cloud, the clear sky, and that giant moon.
So, is the drunk Russian going to drive Sonetto somewhere? Or rather, fly her somewhere? Sitting tight on her SU-01BE, she gives a quick pat to the scroll secured on her belt. Right, because they need to physically deliver it. I'm guessing it can be just transcribed over the transmission. Fair enough. This is the essence of Apeiron's goodwill in their newfound alliance with Laplace. Rather.
Can't find a better day to deliver the package. It's just to the headquarters, not even going outside of Europe. 3 hours is more than enough.
Okay, but what makes you so sure that you won't be intercepted? I wouldn't put it past Manus Vindictae to intercept it mid-flight and steal it.
I'm done being stuck on this suffocating island. Nobody can stop me from taking this flight.
The headquarters are at least 768 nautical miles away, and you have no protection during the long flight. It's dangerous.
But it is.
And we have only 7 hours until the storm.
Dangerous? Maybe. But this is an exhilarating flight in the storm, Saneto. What better chance than now to push Xeno into updating their flying manual?
Is that really the time? She takes a few long gulps from her canteen and warms up her broomstick. How do you warm up a broomstick? Never mind. Brimming with anticipation as if were going to a carnival.
Besides, what's wrong with a bit of oil painting on me? Should be a nice badge of honor.
Okay. I mean, it's reversible, we've seen it before, but 6 isn't around to fix you, so maybe don't?
Mate, that's quite a distance. Just be sure not to go toppling into the Mediterranean Sea.
Red 38 is no way an Apple II.
She soars higher and higher until Regulus shrinks to a tiny red dot on the beach. From the corner of her eyes, she notices shadows slowly creeping towards her.
Uh-oh. Manus Alitius? We didn't kill them all off?
Of course you are being intercepted, why wouldn't you be? Honestly, I'm not surprised.
I don't have time for you, little stingray rats.
The Oleatus trail close behind her.
Still got your speed, huh? I guess the death of your boss didn't faze you much. Oh.
Swollen blade comes into view, filled with a dark substance throbbing like a beating heart. So, another boss fight then? The creature's soft tentacle-like turrets slowly rise and lock onto Lydia.
A Manus aircraft? Worth a fight.
Lydia, don't. Skedaddle from there.
Haha! Bring it on! Your downfall will be an explosive orchestra over the waters.
God damn it, Russian girl. Okay. Let's hunt ourselves a whale. Beat Manus Vindictae airship. Can probably do it in one round.
Well, let me try my hand.
This team shouldn't be a problem. Forgot to change the team member, but hey, this will work too.
Copy that!
No worries.
Ah,
There we go.
an interesting one.
Let the explosions commence.
And that's that.
Lily!
Please, don't resist.
Ah, what a bloom.
There we go. It's just that easy. The safety cast the immunity ritual to safely cast immunity ritual, 2 conditions must be met. Have the power to wield it?
Yes, Miss Tyder has derived the formula and my team has finished designing the prototype converter.
Okay, and what's the other condition?
Now, we just need the bigwigs upstairs to approve the experiment application. This is an unprecedented chance to rob the storm of its energy. I wouldn't miss this for anything.
Okay. And second, minimize the side effects. Right.
The Scroll of Aperon has shown great potential in protecting casters from the ritual. It is expected to outperform the Coleman protection rituals. The sheer variety of side effects is concerning, but we already have a list of 122 curses and their effects. Once the scroll arrives, we will test and record its reactions to each of the effects.
Well, be careful not to ruin the scroll in the process.
This should speed up our analysis considerably.
But this isn't enough. Right.
How can we get humans to make use of this ritual?
This is the missing piece. Correct. He stands up and paces around the cluttered room. Still maintain that they have to create a device that replicates the effect passively, that could shield regular humans. That probably is the answer. They've created Arcanum devices before that can run on their own without intervention from other Arcanists. Why not do it again?
Ideally, the incantation is made into a tool like the Manus Mask or Laplace's incantation soft disk.
Right.
However, this would require a thorough analysis and mastery of the ritual. Manus Vindicte could create the mask because Arcana is just that excellent of a caster.
Is it the reason though? That's your assumption.
But we don't have that kind of excellence all the time. That's why I came up with a clever alternative. To let everyone be a caster instead.
How?
The problem is, humans can't cast it all to begin with. Ugh.
Logic is failing to produce the desired breakthrough. Nigma sits back down at the table, holding his head in despair.
Is there nothing else we can do?
So, this is the plan of the imaginary numbers.
Imaginary numbers? Another title, okay. Huh. Why not build some kind of tower or room that is specifically an Arcanum device of its own that projects the safe zone at all times passively?
You want to use the waves of Numa and the reconciliation of the scroll to allow everyone to recite the storm immunity ritual?
Okay, I don't entirely get it. 27 ponders with great interest, as if it were just another game. The collaboration with Laplace is going well. They have just shared all their information on the subject.
Yes. What do you think, 37?
Let me guess, she's going to tell them that it won't work.
An ugly plan it is.
Well, we work with what we have.
There is no grace or beauty in this approach. It is purely driven by practicality and uses clever tactics to make things fit. How typical of imaginary numbers.
What? It sounds pretty cool to me. Taking advantage of the storm? It's about time we plundered it instead.
It really looks like we should throw this plan into the sea.
Well, beggars can be choosers, as they say. 27 insists, subtly shifting her seat away from Regulus.
You're not trying to comprehend the ritual, Vertin, but scrambling to make use of it before the emanation arrives.
Not wrong, but this is what we can do in the time allotted.
Isn't making use of it enough for our purposes?
No, the theory is incomplete. You will be hindered by impossible obstacles in no time.
Probably.
Mister, could you show me the incantation? I want to see it too.
Please don't recite it. She glances at the device, hoping for an answer, but the other end of the call has been silent for a while.
Laplace is looking for a safe method to deliver the incantation. Given the incidents before, some time is required for the application procedure. Once received, please do not read it out by any means. The side effects are extremely deadly.
The chief assistant explains to her reassuringly. Finally, someone speaks again.
Apologies. We took some time to test the delivery methods. For your safety, only the text of the incantation will be delivered. The exact pronunciation will be sent to the timekeeper later.
Okay.
Thanks, mate.
So they are splitting it into 2 packets, so someone doesn't get too brave and recite it immediately.
Since the island has no visual communication, we will send the incantation letter by letter through a Chladni plate, a technique that converts simple patterns to sound waves. Enough with the mumbo-jumbo! There's no time for details.
Okay. Annoyed, he interrupts his ramblings and gets straight to the point.
Anyway, timekeeper, we'll need the help of that lady. Miss Radio, right?
Huh?
Fluttered, the blue flowers on Mrs. Radio perks up. No ordinary signal could reach this island. Since the arrival, she's been diligently managing their communications. As a result, she was somewhat reduced to being just a radio. Well...
Yes. Somebody please find her a metal square plate, fix it on a sturdy base, and pour sand on it.
Oh, I know what this is. You can vibrate a plate to make the sand arrange into certain shapes. Basically write with it. Stonetta and Regulus get to work immediately. Fortunately, there is no shortage of metals and sand on this island. A makeshift receiving station is quickly built.
Now, a special recording will be sent to you. Please stay by the edge of the plate, embrace the sound, and, groove along.
Alright.
I assume you mean vibrate?
Yes.
No, that's just rude. But, yes, exactly.
Is it rude? He stammers.
If all goes well, the vibrations will move the sand and visualize the text in a pattern. We have 12 recordings ready, each representing a letter in the incantation. We'll play the first one when you're ready.
Oh, of course, my pleasure.
She trembles with excitement, ready to give her all for this important task. As she grooves with the signal, pattern begins to form on the plate. Is that supposed to be a letter?
First one's done, Mr. Ulrich.
All right, 11 to go.
The transmission continues as planned, each letter falling into place like a piece of a puzzle. Until finally, the last letter is recorded on the page.
This incantation.
What about it? The sight is hard to believe. How can this be? Do you have something for us?
What? Are you reading it in your head? Oh, don't tell me even thinking about it can trigger the curse.
No. It's just... I can read this language.
How and why? La Unua Circolo, right. The language is not unfamiliar. The incantation for unlocking the suitcase is inscribed in the same tongue. In Esperanto? Really? The questions are, who taught this and when? Was it on the eve of the new millennium when everything was a blank? Was it Mother? A myriad of thoughts flood the mind.
37. I think I know what it says.
Well, it says first circle, right?
It means the first circle.
Okay. Emergency Harmonizer Analysis Task Notification. Special notification. We have received a harmonizer capable of neutralizing the storm immunity spell, which has been proven effective through Miss Lucy's testing. The contents of the harmonizer have been sent to each department in the form of photograph with this message. Please begin analysis for master replication immediately upon receipt. I'll call back the people from John Titor's place. You all keep busy. Right. There's another part. Will me surprised? The researchers on the receiving end quickly grasped the message.
The first circle. That's what the incantation says?
They didn't know that already? I was convinced that they did. He suddenly remembers a detail that has eluded him all along.
That's it. The investigator in Vienna reported a similar thing. An ancient miracle, a circle of salvation. Arcana even drew a circle in the air while saying it. She did it so nonchalantly, as if it were a meaningless gesture.
Dude, for a smart guy, you are incredibly stupid, honestly.
We didn't think much of it at the time. Once we confirmed that it did not affect the casting of the incantation, we forgot about it and moved on.
You probably need it as part of it.
I can't believe I overlooked it.
Yep. The hot-tempered cryptography lead slams the table and buries his face into his hands. Clearly exasperated.
This is not your fault, Ulrich.
It is, though.
The gesture was overlooked because it did not really help the research. Our focus was on practical application rather than understanding the incantation itself.
And that was a mistake, apparently.
If the incantation means the first circle...
The pragmatist's voice is still serene.
How will this be helpful to the research?
Well, you need to draw the circle, presumably.
I see! I understand now!
Do you know? A moment of epiphany. She snatches a handful of papers, sprawls out on the floor, and scribbles frantically.
Well, Vertin, I don't know why you can read it, but I do know that Gal is thrilled by your interpretation.
Thank you for your interpretation as well, Regulus.
Because you mentioned her favorite shape, the circle.
The irrational number is spot on. 37 has drifted into a world of her own.
Yes. The essence of the incantation is a circle. But what kind of circle is it? In topology, any closed curve on a plane can be classified as a circle.
Aha! Told you!
Regulus spreads her hands, speechless. She takes a step back, giving 37 more room to calculate. Everyone is talking quietly so as not to disturb her. Even Mrs. Radio has lowered her volume. Well, I'm guessing that the string of numbers is somehow defining what kind of circle it has to be, maybe. Just as her sheets are about to engulf the entire floor, she finally stands up.
Look, Vertin, let's go back to the Rosetta Stone hypothesis. Based on the hypothesis, if the incantation and the numerical code share a common essence, which is the key to the storm immunity, And we now know the incantation refers to a circle.
Right.
Then the essence of this numerical code should also be a circle, right?
In theory. 37 nods.
Yes. Before this conversation, I had no idea which direction to take. The numerical code could be a snippet of an incantation, or it could be a geometrical ritual array. I had a lot of theories to go on, but testing them could take weeks or even months. Worse yet, if my line of thinking was completely wrong, we could waste decades of time and effort. But the Rosetta Stone hypothesis is easy to verify.
How so?
Let us suppose that the incantation and numerical code share a similar essence. We know that the incantation does work, as proven by the Awakened. If the incantation is a circle, then the numerical code should also be circular in nature, and has the same effect as the incantation, which is a circle that saves people from the emanation, and can also be experimented with by the Awakened.
If the experiment works, then the hypothesis is true, and vice versa. I see what you mean here. It really is an easily provable hypothesis.
I'll believe you on your word with this.
To my ears, you're just trying to prove that the code means a circle, because you're really into circles.
Not specifically. I simply like it because it's a great shape.
But I don't understand.
For once, I'm with Sonetta on this one. She picks up the numerical code and studies it carefully.
+1, -1, +2, -3, 3, -3, +2, -1, +1.
Wait, was the original inscribed with positives and negatives? I thought it was just a string of numbers previously.
How do these numbers relate to the circle?
The first circle.
What do you have for us, Enigma? Enigma narrows his brows, spinning a pen between his fingers. His drafts are scattered across his desk, each of them a dead end.
Yes, it was the timekeeper who translated the incantation. And according to the investigator in Vienna, Arcana also drew a circle when she cast the ritual. But experiments have shown that the gesture has no effect on the ritual. We thought maybe it was a symbolic gesture.
Well, maybe it is important and you should incorporate it into the ritual.
No. It is no way just symbolic.
Exactly. Even Enigma gets it, and he's not an arcanist. He jumps to his feet. The cryptographer sneezes at the cloud of dust he just stood up. Honestly, this pronunciation of this word kills me every time. Cryptographer. There we go.
Arcanists excel at condensing their experiences into symbolic representations. Signs, totems, elements, these are primitive symbols, and some are sources of power for Arcanum. At least that's what the Foundation's textbooks tell me.
Right.
That's why arcane skills can only be enhanced by mediums that align with their symbolic nature. Precise materials are required when creating soft discs for each incantation.
He stops spinning his pen.
If the incantation symbolizes the first circle, and if we were to create a physical form that could be mass-produced for everyone, will that form have to be a circle too?
Probably. It quite literally has to be a circle of protection, I think. In the cave, discussions and theories about the circle are also in full swing. Every inch of the floor is now covered with paper. On each sheet is a differently drawn circle. Some are spheres, some have crossings somewhere in distorted forms. Just as the sea of papers is about to drown everyone in the room, she finally stands up.
Oh, I should have thought of this.
What?
The simplest things often hold the deepest meaning, as always. So, the first circle, what could it be? A wheel? A piece of rope? A pendulum?
Literally a circle drawn in the sand? 27 shakes her head and kicks away some paper balls at her feet.
I spent too long on the wheel and the bearing, not realizing there was something more promising. A circle can also be seen as a knot with no crossings. An unknot.
A what?
This could be a variation of a closed curve. A knot. Knots were how the ancients of the Incas and Chinese collected data and kept records.
Okay.
But which knot is it exactly?
27 extends her hand. Intricate geometric shapes take form in the radiance of her arcane light.
The Jones polynomial of the trefoil knot is t plus t cubed minus t to the power of 4. The figure 8 knot is t to the power of -2 minus t to the power of -1 plus 1 minus t plus t squared.
How is this a circle?
The cinquefoil knot, t squared plus t to the power of 4 minus t to the power of 5 plus t to the power of 6 minus t to the power of 7. I could go on all day. There are 165 different knots with 10 crossings, 9,988 knots with 13 crossings. But which knot is the code referring to? +1, -1. +2, -3, +3, -3, +2, -1, +1.
Wait a second, this sequence is literally looping onto itself. It's going back to 0, the way I understand it, I think. If you put a 0 here and looped it back around, she stops.
Of course I would hear these digits instead of anything else. The scroll transcribes the truth into a format I can understand. So it must be based on a mathematical system I already know.
Alright.
I have all the knowledge needed to break the code. Just need to follow my instincts and pick a system. And the Jones polynomial is the first thing I could think of.
Struck by an idea, she drops to her knees and starts calculating again on the floor.
Right. The second 3 I heard sounded different from the other 3s. That 3 must be the constant term of the polynomial. Then if we use this 3 as the origin, like a number axis, the left side is the coefficient for the negative exponents, and the right side is the coefficients for the positive exponents.
I'm already having a PTSD from math classes.
Eureka! This string of coefficients is the shorthand of a Jones polynomial. If we assign the 8 coefficients to the 8 corresponding exponents in a Jones polynomial, we get its true form. T to the power of -4 minus t to the power of -3 plus 2t to the power of -2 minus 3 times t to the power of -1 plus 3 minus 3t plus 2t squared minus t cubed plus t to the power of 4. A knot with 8 crossings!
Jesus Christ, how horrifying. Can you translate this to a human language? She looks up, her bright aquamarine eyes shine with delight. A golden knot projects from her fingertips.
See, Vertin, Apiron did give us the answer.
Okay, does it do anything?
The key we've been looking for, the most profound secret, the language of the divine. No sound or text is needed, just pure structure, the very form of the essence itself. It is a beautiful shape, a simple knot.
Is it simple?
A knot. Great. Now there is only one step left. The verification.
Okay. She nods and looks at the communicator.
Did you hear that, Madame Lucy? Can you help us verify the authenticity of this knot?
After an unsettling silence, Mrs. Radio finally remembers that she has turned down the volume. When she turns it back on, Lucy's voice comes through clearly over the channel.
Of course. I have paid close attention to the discussion. This polynomial produces a single unique knot. We can now tie a knot to test it.
Okay. The call goes silent again. The cave is silent too, as if any noise would alter the outcome. Even Regulus has turned off her personal speakers. In the quiet hush, Mrs. Radio cranks up her volume once more, but all they hear is a sharp hiss of static. And a soft, strange rustling. 20 minutes have passed.
Madame Lucy?
The only sound is a constant static, accompanied by a faint, scratchy reverberation.
Is the signal dropping?
Huh.
Madame Lucy, can you hear us?
Okay, she has the knot. What now?
I can.
The robot utters with effort. The knot slips from her grip and falls. It has completed its great mission. Then the robot starts to fall apart and melt. Before the curse could get to her core, the fire thief... What? The fire thief flashes a smile.
It worked.
She needs to ensure the next message is clear on the radio. Okay. So it's still dangerous to use, but it works. The ritual core is officially complete. Thank you everyone, the ritual core is complete. We have successfully overcome all the challenges we faced, and all that remains is assembly and mass production. Our research on the storm has come to a successful conclusion. We are also collecting names for the ritual core. If you are interested, please feel free to submit your suggestions. Below are the examples of the suggestions we have collected. 37, Lucy Knot. Jesus Christ, a number. Absolute Universal L-powered Storm Immunity Device. Laplace's Knot. 1914 Knot, wrong time. The Knot. It has such a nice ring to it. Right, the Knot. That's simple, and it should be simple, really. Okay. Mirror and curtains. Before we continue, I'll take a short bathroom break. Honestly, there was much more of this chapter left than I expected. But yeah, be right back. And I'm back. We can continue. Okay. So, another part it is. Let's jump right into it. Mirrors and curtains. What do you have for us? The storm arrives in 4 hours.
I never thought it would be the Timekeeper and the Aperon Arcanus who'd solve the problem. But now even humans can cast this ritual.
Can they? Laplace is now a rare state. Is now in a rare state of tranquility, for the researchers have done all they can. There's nothing left for them to do. With only 4 hours to go, this is the final calm before the storm. Heh, you've got jokes.
Indeed. The knot is the physical form of the ritual we were looking for. Surprisingly, the numerical code yielded practical results. I thought it was necessary to report this to the Timekeeper's organization. It was her contribution. But it did not go well.
Why?
Forgive the interruption. What's a knot?
I beg your finest pardon.
I will be glad to answer your question. Knot theory is a branch of algebraic topology. In mathematics, a knot refers to a connected closed curve in three-dimensional Euclidean space that does not intersect itself. They can also be described as shapes in three-dimensional space that are homeomorphic to circles. Knot theory focuses on the entanglement and configurations of closed curves in three-dimensional space, rather than the curves themselves. Since all closed curves are homeomorphic to circles, they can all be topologically categorized as circles.
Okay, that's a weird definition, but sure.
A knot equivalent to a two-dimensional circle is called an unknot, and...
I don't mean to question Laplace's expertise, but this approach may not be the best solution for widespread implementation.
Why? Because you just can't grasp the meaning? You can't understand the basics?
The concepts are complex even for us, let alone others. We can't expect to give an advanced math lesson to every individual under these circumstances.
Honestly, you don't need to, you just need the knot.
Doing math before the storm. Nobody's got time for that.
Throw that man into the sea.
As it turned out, presenting a technical report was much too premature. We should have a complete and official report once the immunity gear is produced.
Maybe you can change your approach the next time you report to the Foundation.
Yeah, you have to take into consideration that the ruling part of the Foundation seems to be made out of dumbasses. The robot shakes her head, disappointed by the failure of her report and the listener's math levels. Honestly, I had barely passable grades in math and I got the explanation, so that doesn't bode well for the Laplace Foundation.
I simply gave them honest answers.
You need to learn the political answers. She turns her head and looks thoughtfully out the window.
But this solution is deserving of widespread implementation. All we need is a piece of rope and tie it end to end.
Right.
And spend 3 to 5 minutes to make this knot. This can be done anywhere, at any time, by anyone using any type of cordage.
Okay.
The oldest, fastest, and most basic ritual, the key to braving the storm, is a knot.
Once again, fair enough.
Why didn't you tell the House of Integratus? I'm sure they would have funded us generously.
I will make sure to put it in my interdepartmental report.
A rare hint of frustration flickers across her face, but she quickly moves on to the subject that deserves her attention.
But at this point in time, the knot only functions like an incantation. It is not suitable for widespread use until the research on the side effects and the converter are complete.
Right.
In any case, I've completed all the tasks you assigned me. My last plea is, please never put Ulrich and I on the same team again.
Right. The researcher lets out a deep yawn, feeling as if he hasn't slept in ages. Maybe he can catch a quick nap before the final battle begins.
I'm surprised that you're not in the lab. Something bothering you? Wait, don't tell me you're charging here.
The robot turns to him, an approving smile on her face.
Excellent job, Researcher Adler. You have proven that you are keeping the locations of public outlets in Laplace in mind, which is a positive sign for your resocialization. But I am powering up to reach my optimal condition, preparing for what is to come. The Scroll of Apeiron, the final piece of the puzzle, the key to minimizing any negative effects caused by the incantation.
And what do you plan to do with it, exactly?
Wow! The designers on artificial somnambulism could use some of this inspiration.
Right, because Lilia is still on her way.
Look at the clouds, painted with a syndrome of colors and interrupted by a glorious streak of rainbow. It's truly a masterpiece.
The red blur streaks forward at lightning speed, but the Oleatas are still in hot pursuit. The skins are becoming increasingly vibrant due to the storm syndrome.
Funny. They're flying towards the headquarters out of instinct. Maybe they can sense immunity zones.
Maybe.
These little beasts would make for a good study.
1 second. Check something quickly. Okay, never mind.
But I'm not in the mood to take any prisoners.
Lilia speeds up again, trying to lose the pursuers that are swarming behind her like a dark vortex. This is, I think, the first time that I can take a good look at this boom of hers. Looks like a miniature plane. Oh! In front of her, under the clouds, the grey building of the Foundation are now clearly visible. Fuel and ammunition are running out. Right. Her altitude is low enough, she can almost see the hallway outside the committee room.
Maybe I should storm the Vice President's office with them. But other people might get hurt there. Never mind.
Nice of you to consider it, Lilia. She makes an abrupt turn, her mind racing with ideas.
Dive into the lake? But the splash might wet the scroll.
Right.
Wait, isn't that...
What do your Russian eyes see? Sprouts from the forests? That looks like a signal to land. Is that assistance from Druvis?
Miss Lilia, this
There we
way.
go.
Ha! Good timing.
Her friend's presence has given her a clear sense of direction. Without a second thought, she charges into the new forest with a huge herd in hot pursuit. Just before crashing into the trees, Red 38 changes course and rockets upwards in a perfectly straight line. But the creatures behind her have no such finesse. One by one, they slam into the mesh woven by the dense tangle of trees and vines.
Enemies intercepted. Ally landed successfully.
Next one.
Miss Travis, the Elitiaus are all ensnared in vines.
The druid closes her eyes, savoring the fresh air.
The winds of triumph sweep through the woods. An excellent flight, Miss Lilia. We will take it from here. Come, everyone. We shall vanquish our foes with the aid of the woods.
Fair enough. So we are fighting the caught flyers. Fair enough.
哦，翻工了。
Ah,
easy.
Relax.
And that's that.
唔該晒，Lily。
Thank you for your cooperation.
Another wave. Easy enough.
Let me...
Copy that. Easy 啦。Copy that.
This should take care of them.
Ah,
Probably
what a
won't
bloom.
even need the impromptu incantation.
Thunder to me. Ha!
Nice.
Ha!
There we go. Easy peasy.
The curtain. The Special Operations Squad is ready to go.
Oh, we are back to Marcus.
Dr. Kakanya, are you really going to stay here?
She shakes her head, her fingers tight on Marcus's communicator. For more than 10 hours, she has been waiting for Laplace to respond. Marcus lowers her eyes, burying her face in her scarf to hide the tears. The doctor quickly notices it. Her voice softens and changes to a lighter tone.
Don't worry about me, young missy. This won't be goodbye forever.
How do you plan to survive on your own?
Besides, I have already provided all the help I can, right? I made Isolde show us the ritual and kept her under control, and now you've figured out how the ritual works. To test its results, you will need a couple of volunteers.
But Marcus doesn't seem to find comfort in her words. So what? Kanya is volunteering to test the ritual herself? During the storm?
But you heard the report from Laplace. The possibility of surviving the ritual is nearly zero without the converter and the scroll and...
Nearly, they said. But not surely.
The doctor interjects briskly.
Plus, where else can I go?
To the Foundation?
I was born and raised in this city. This is where I came from, where I lived and where I belong. This is my whole world. I despised the maggots under its golden surface and fought for the justice and fairness in our society. But I also cherish every detail of this city, from the intricate carvings on the theater columns to the dirt trodden by dock workers. All of these things made me me. My family, my friends, my people, and my operas and culture are all here. I never once thought about leaving this place. I have never thought about destroying it either.
Well, you were kind of complicit in it. She looks up and sighs sentimentally.
Being washed away with it would be a just punishment for all my sins.
Honestly, that's a coward's way out. You should fix things instead of just ending your journey. Yet her eyes are free of darkness and despair. Marcus can clearly see her determination.
wish I could be as brave as you are.
Oh, you are, little girl, you are.
See you, Miss Clara.
She gently reaches out to her. Not far away, the Special Operations Squad is ready to go. The helicopter begins to whirl, its last errand of the day. Inside the cabin, Isolde sits between two Razor operatives, her wrists bound in cuffs.
Hurry, ladies, before any of us turns into one of those exquisite paintings! Sorry, but the headquarters is too far for the teleportation disk from here. You'll have to bear with us smelly old grunts for a little longer.
It is time to part ways.
Goodbye, Miss Marcus. Sharing this era with you has been an honor.
The warm hands clasp in a powerful handshake. With a wave to the teary-eyed girl, Kekania turns around and heads towards the City of Madness.
Is your birthday approaching, Doctor?
She twirls sharply around at the entranced voice. Isolde reaches out into the air, still in a dream she's unwilling to wake up from. There, the world is unchanged, and each day is filled with bliss. For a prisoner in the Foundation's facility, perhaps dreams will provide the solace she needs.
I made this for you.
She holds out a brooch, a piece of so exquisite that it too seems to be an intangible figment of a wistful dream. Is it going to incorporate the knot somehow in it? Kind of. It looks similar-ish. The golden setting nestled the sparkling gems in place, a gift undoubtedly made with a great affection.
Turquoise and topaz, just like you and your eyes. Please accept my blessings, Doctor. May your life be filled with joy and contentment, and may your courage guide you through all that comes your way. You are worthy of all the beauty and goodness this world has to offer, and I will hold you in my heart and in my prayers forever.
Today isn't Kekania's birthday, nor can she see her reflection in Isolde's lusterless eyes. The Star of Vienna holds up the brooch, yearning at the emptiness before her. If one were to die today, what would she say to her long-time friend?
Süße Träume, Frau Dittersdorf.
Sweet dreams, Mrs. Dittersdorf. Takes the brooch and pins it to her jacket. The communicator at her waist crackles. A ray of hope shines through the static.
Madame Lucy, any progress on the research?
What do they have for her? Oh, a cliffhanger for us, okay. Alright. Huh, another part. So maybe this stream specifically will be just chapter 7 and we'll be separating the event into a separate stream. But good news on that front. We won't be doing an Arknights Enfield stream today. Instead, I'll be replacing it with another Reverse 1999 stream after the break. Because we ran out of content again for Enfield. So yeah, just a longer 2-part stream of Reverse 1999 for today. Hymnus ad Bacchum. What is this about? Pour myself something to drink, 1 second.
Six is awake?
Oh, he's alive? Nice, I guess. The blind woman nods, smiling. 37 scrambles up from the floor, her eyes sparkling with joy.
Fabulous! Now everything is perfect, like the number 10. He will be happy to hear that I've cracked the code.
Presumably. She skips across the room, the paper with the note on it still in her hand.
I did it, Vertin! I have proven the light of truth still shines. With some time, communication, and a flash of inspiration, we can bring it down from the unattainable skies and let its radiance illuminate all. And I've also proven that the truth is not out of reach or too distant to grasp. So, once Sophia knows about this, she'll come back to us, right?
I wouldn't hold our breath for this one. She opens her eyes wide, eager for the affirmation she yearns to hear. 37, I've got nothing for you on this front.
I'm sure she'll be happy with what you've accomplished, 37.
A very diplomatic answer. 37 nods with satisfaction and quickly dives back into her walk, further perfecting the solution. The leaps in progress and the news of Six's return have filled the lab with smiles and lively conversations. Yet the most active members of the past are not here for the celebration.
Did 210 and 888 go to get 6?
6.
You don't seem that happy.
The leader stops, looking at the speaker coming down the steps.
The Star of Hermes deciphered the code of Aperon. She found a way to cross the emanation. We should all feel happy for her.
The leader does not answer, having mastered the art of silence over the years. The rhetorician doesn't care. He can effortlessly engage in dialogue and is at ease in any conversation, even with a rock. So he's basically a streamer. Okay.
Yet here you are, so indifferent. It is because you, too, know that what has happened will not change, regardless of whether she figures it out or not. A meager ritual to save people from the emanation is nothing compared to the disruption of the law above. It also cannot change the fact that our faith is dead.
Kind of bleak outlook.
We're talking about how the island has sunk, and we're now sailing in a tsunami. A tiny miracle, a spark of inspiration, won't save the ship from the wrath of the tides.
His tone is sarcastic, but the mockery is missing in his eyes.
To be honest, I was surprised that she asked such a practical question. I guess the trivialities of the phenomenal world did eventually affect her. It's a shame that many others lack her determined will to see beyond the void of our broken reality.
What's your point?
My question exactly, what is your point?
Can't you see? I'm getting a rise out of you.
Okay. For what purpose? He beams a huge grin.
Who would have thought that our great, perfect, honorable leader of the School of Aperon has been a nihilist all along? You never revered the truth, did you? That's why you kept us in the dark for 4 years. You never respected our beliefs for a second in your life.
That's a bold claim. The man down the steps shakes his head.
The people who seek the truth are more important than the truth itself.
So what? Your argument is it's about the road, not the and the journey, not about the destination?
I may not understand that ever-shifting number, but I do understand and respect the people here.
He's continuing to the conversation, a rarity to behold. Ever since becoming 6, he's rarely had a chance to unleash his sarcastic wit.
So you know the secret. What now? Now that you know the truth could lead to a nihilistic void, I wonder if you would abandon our doctrines, our wisdom, and our inheritance, and step into the darkness in a fit of rage. When truth fails, sophistry prevails. Correct?
Ha! We cannot deny that fate, the unspeakable, holds wisdom beyond our understanding. Perhaps it does take a resolute skeptic, an impartial nihilist, to steady this ship and remain detached enough to look on from the sidelines.
210 looks up.
It's a pity. This was supposed to be the best time of year to make wine.
210 looks up at the distant grape-colored sky. Okay. Didn't manage to read it in time. He leaves without looking back. The silent leader continues on the familiar path. A short distance away, 37 slides gracefully down the sand and runs towards him.
6! You're here! 888 said they're holding a celebration before the arrival of the emanation, in honor of the living and the dead. Will you join us, 6?
37. Do you remember the story of Socrates?
Which one?
The one you told me in the cave? The trial is over. Why mention it? You should answer my question first.
Her words trail off as her eyes suddenly widen in fear. She's completely fixated on what's in the distance. She knows the feast is underway and she recalculated the safe zone for them to hold it in. But now people are laying out food and wine on the ruined beach among the rubble and wreckage right next to the remains of the battlefield.
Wait, are they holding the ceremony outside the immunity zone? I told them to go to the meadow near the top of the mountain where they will be completely safe. I've checked my calculations over and over, leaving no room for error.
Are they choosing oblivion in this instance, or what?
888 must have made a mistake. I need to warn them.
Her tiny arms are held back. Blonde hair droops over 6's eyes. 37 looks back in confusion at the leader's unusual behavior.
37. Either be wise, uninvolved, and look on, or be practical, involved, and suffer. Which one will you end up choosing?
You mean all we need is a piece of hope?
Well, in theory. The voice on the phone sounds unsure.
Yes. In recognition of your extraordinary contributions, Laplace is honored to present you with the fruits of our labor. This knot is the result of our research. The knot has been validated as a working ritual on both humans and arcanists. With the help of other arcanists, we found methods to avoid side effects and conducted small-scale experiments with success.
So they've completed the ritual then?
So are you saying we can...
However, since the experiment is still in its early stages, it involves a variety of materials and complicated rituals that are not yet possible for transmission. Nor can we deliver you any experimental equipment, as the storm is about to make landfall. the knot acts as an equivalent to the incantation, but it does not guarantee that we will meet the casting requirements or avoid the likely side effects.
So it's a gamble still for her. This is devastating news for anyone in need of rescue in the midst of a disaster. The robot pauses briefly, searching its database for kinder phrasing.
I apologize, Miss Kakanya. Perhaps the result of our work will not really help your situation.
You said the knot works on both humans and arcanists, right?
In theory. Surprisingly, there's no despair in her voice.
Yes.
That is more than enough. This is the best news I've heard so far. There's a chance for everyone.
Well, kinda shitty chance, but yes. It's less than zero at least. I mean more than zero, excuse me. The robot did not understand her mumbling, but she found something in her database that might help.
I have 2 more pieces of good news. First, the curse is not inevitable. Our experiments showed a 0.49% likelihood of no side effects occurring at all. Second, the closer the storm gets, the more pneuma fills the air, leading to a greater success rate of the ritual.
Right, so ideally you deploy it right as the storm is about to happen.
Yet, even with these factors combined, the rate of success is still extremely low.
It's all right. With millions of people trying, there's hope that at least one person will succeed against the odds.
Well, technically yes.
Thank you for sharing this with me, madam. I will do everything I can to spread this knot in Vienna. To the Arcanists, humans, Magyars, and Germans, they are all my people, regardless of their social status, profession, or race. They all deserve the right to survive.
Lucy ends the call and turns around. There stands a Foundation employee sent here to inquire about the experiment, with a stern expression after overhearing the conversation.
Madame Lucy, I can only assume you acted impulsively and overlooked the proper application process.
So what, she was not allowed to share this knot?
The knot is new and not ready for widespread testing. Distributing it in Vienna could lead to more casualties or even fall into the hands of our enemies.
How can you get more casualties than everyone being gone? The storm will erase everyone.
I must remind you that this is a clear violation of the regulations set by Pax Security Council, the St. Pavlov Foundation, and the Laplace.
Ah, yes. How careless of me.
Bullshit. The robot nods.
But I did tell her I would share the results of the research. And this is what you call a promise.
All right.
And the database says, a promise made is a promise kept.
Interesting interpretation. The storm is imminent. The final moment has arrived.
My brothers and sisters, put down your cups for a moment and lend ear to me. We were born extraordinary, yet estranged from the world around us. Throughout the ages, we wandered the world like a ship lost at sea. Despite the instability and chaos, we persevered, and together we sought after the truth that would illuminate us all. Through introspection and contemplation, we cleansed ourselves of hatred, madness, and delusion, and embraced the value of beauty and harmony.
Yet now, our shattered faith mingles with the rubble of this phenomenal world, as specks in an unjust timeline, as remnants of a tide long receded. The dream of the transcendental world is broken, and the order of the transcendental law is no more.
Our sanctuary has crumbled, exposing us to live in a world filled with conflict and turmoil, where we will be trapped in the wheel of birth, doomed to repeat the mistakes of history for eternity.
So what, they all got depressed and want to end it all?
But do not despair, for there is another way to the truth. It is a path fueled by unbridled passion, one that was stifled by moderation and restraint, a path that transcends the individual, breaks all boundaries and limitations, and leads us back to the essence in a fiery blaze of glory.
Uh-huh.
This path is the emanation, which we stride into for the ultimate truth of our journey.
That's your answer? Honestly, that answer sucks.
Doctor?
The boy eases his pace as he sees Kanya rushing his way.
Finally, someone I know!
She cradles a thick stack of pamphlets in her arms, a little out of breath.
Ilich, gather everyone you can and have them read out these steps in the plaza for all to hear. If possible, go to the telegraph office or use a printing machine to copy flyers. Distribute as many copies as you can. I'll go to Leopoldstadt and find the Gracchus brothers. They know where to find abandoned military hot air balloons.
Do you have
What are
time
you
for
talking
that?
about, Doctor? People are too busy trying to escape. I want nothing to do with those crazies. This? A guide for tying knots? Don't you know the world is about to end? So many warnings. Who'd want to read this?
The people who want to survive will read it. I can't guarantee anything. It's a gamble for our lives. But people have a right to try before doomsday arrives. Ilich, please trust me one more time. Please.
I don't think that anyone is going to believe her, honestly. The boy recognizes the plea in her voice.
Fine, Dr. Clara. If this works, your coffee for the rest of your life is on me.
Better be.
Why?
Clutching at her own hair, she sets out a head-wrenching wail.
Why? Why are you still leaving? I found the truth. I completed the test. I deciphered the code of Apiron.
She struggles, trying to break free from the arm holding her back, her eyes fixed on the beach before her.
Why aren't you stopping them, Six?
Friendly figure comes up to them.
Hello.
Are you joining them, Miss Marta?
She smiles and shakes her head, turning her face towards the leader.
I find myself uncertain of which way to go. Would you kindly give me some guidance?
The guidance I can offer you is limited, Miss Marta. I think fate knows its own fate better than anyone.
What does that mean?
Thank you for your advice. I think I understand.
Well, good for you, because I don't. She steps into the path of no return. Will it work? Or did that brooch help somehow? And there's one more part. Interesting. Okay.
My dear child, look at you. You're exhausted. I couldn't be of help then. But it's okay. The party is over now. At least let me brush your hair, darling. Or your hair will get all knotted. And it will hurt you when you try to untangle them.
Indeed, it happened more than once.
I'm not surprised. An old friend of ours, Knot. Often we learn our knots before we even know how to read and write. A knot could be an obstacle that breaks the consistency of a flow, and also a reminder of forgotten things. You can use just about anything on hand to make a knot. Leaves of grass, the fur of an animal, even fallen hair. But the sturdiest knots are tied with rope. Knots are often found in many stories. Signify promises, counting and measuring, an instrument of salvation, and one of execution.
What else can these knots really do?
Oh, I could go on all day. The influence and power of knots can't be overstated. It is said that it was in the cutting of the Gordian knot that Alexander became the Great. Just touching the meters-long rope provides blessings to the faithful in Belem. And tiny knots on strings can carry the history of an entire people. The ancient Inca called it quipu, the intricate variations of hundreds of fabrics, colors, and lengths of strings were used to record their stories through the ages. And to think, Shakespeare only had 26 letters to create his masterpieces.
Isn't there something a bit more practical?
Just look around you. Don't sailors use knots to mark depths in men's sails? Or coachmen tying knots to rein their horses? And any respectable lady or gentleman knows the knots they must tie about their necks to stay in fashion. Or consider the knot-like helix structure of DNA and the changes in states of matter. Invisible to the naked eye, these knots carry some hint at a universal law. That there might be a string, like the quipu, an endless rope that records in its knots everything in the world, one that can't be seen, yet there it is, everywhere, all at once. Maybe you can tie this knot yourself. Use your hair, then form a loop, pass the end through it, and tighten it up. There you go. I hope you keep this knot as a record of the words we shared here.
Alright, Miss Narrator. Let's jump into the next part. The two numbers. Okay.
I don't understand. I should be giving them my blessings. They're brave enough to return to the essence. But instead, sadness washes over me. I should feel happy for Sophia, now that she knows her soul number. Yet, I am filled with sorrow.
Well, that's because you are still human. Emotions work like this. The beach is quiet, clean and perfect again. The storm has washed away everything that's happened. The war, the crowds, and the clinking cups all gone. It's restored to the likeness of a better time, with no remnants left behind. The last echoes of an era have faded into the distance.
Why? Why did you all leave?
Good question.
Is it because I wasn't fast enough? Is it because I didn't do well enough?
Her petite frame sways in the breeze until finally she crumples to the sand. Rivulets of tears stream down her cheeks, mixing with the mud on the ground. Her face, hair, and gilded robe are marked with stains. But she shows no concern as she bows her eyes out, her grief tearing at the core of her being. Like the first cries of a newborn entering the phenomenal world. Thus, the leader knows the question is answered. Rather than looking on, she has chosen to be practical, involved and suffer. And now the moment of parting has come.
Go, 37. Leave the island to the world outside.
Well, we know that this was going to happen eventually.
Mesverton, you're clearing a path out of the mires of the phenomenal world. I sincerely hope you will steer it away from the horrors of war.
It's our duty to do so.
Six nods approvingly. The importance of the scroll needs no further proclamation.
Also, the person you were looking for, I am not familiar with a biographer named Erd. However, in my recollections from the previous six, there was a lady with a soul number just as unique as yours.
Huh. So maybe her mother?
Are you saying?
Sadly, these vague scraps of information were all that I inherited. I hope they will be useful to you.
He turns around. Without another look at the empty beach, he starts walking back. Some believers trail after him without hesitation. Seeing this, the girl wipes off her tears and scrambles to her feet.
No. Wait! Six, where are you going? Everyone is gone. Sophia, 210, 888, and now you too?
I'm returning to the cave, 37. There are still people who refuse to be caught in the cycle of hatred or give in to unrestrained passion. The entrance to the sacred place may be destroyed, but the people's faith is yet to be extinguished.
Okay.
We will persist in studying the scrolls, copying the scriptures, and restoring our halls. We will worship the Ancient One in penance and work to rekindle the flame of our broken beliefs. The island is a manifestation of our choices, a haven removed from the phenomenal world, a place of order and harmony. And it is our determination that will sustain its tranquil existence.
I will go with you.
No. Your choice has already been made, 37. You should not go back.
Yeah, time to leave the cave.
The sorrows and doubts you have can only be alleviated by experiencing the outside world.
37's face turns completely pale. Six shakes his head, looking towards the setting sun.
Thousands of years ago, the first faithful ones fled from the Roman Empire and journeyed to this island, where they founded the School of Epeiron.
So they actually date to that long ago.
500 years ago, refugees from Arabia found shelter here. they filled the cavern's shelves with copies of their writings and texts. Half a century ago, scholars who had their research exploited for warfare came and expanded our knowledge on modern mathematics. There were many 37s and 6s among them. Yet, are we any different from them in essence? Even if we are no longer here, the numbers 37 and 6 will still exist. Even if the island sank, these numbers would reappear elsewhere. The integer sequence is infinite, 37. Rather than clinging to a set of specific numbers, you should go and work out your own calculations and conclusions.
So now you're choosing to be wise and look on. But I don't understand. How could one be wise by being uninvolved and looking on from the sidelines?
Six lets out a sound, almost a chuckle.
You overestimate wisdom, Miss Verton. It can't do everything. Wisdom can free people from ignorance, but it can also lead them to a nihilistic void.
Right.
Yet, someone will always seek this wisdom, even if nihilistic, to briefly rise above their worldly troubles and find some relief. And someone will have to stay here and provide a neutral haven for the drifters of the phenomenal world, and give the lost souls a harbor to return to.
He turns again, ignoring the calling behind him this time.
Wait! Six! Wait!
She rubs her face with her palms and pulls up her robe, running down the beach. She stumbles over a pebble and falls, but she pushes through the pain and rises to her feet, still running as fast as she can.
Wait, Six! Atticus!
The man stops. He had not expected to hear that name. Numbers are the essence of one's soul, and names are but echoes of the phenomenal world. He was born into his number long before he was given the name Atticus. 37 never once called him by that name, for she had always valued the essence above all else. Now here she stands, hair tangled with mud, knees bleeding, and all battered and bruised, yet her gaze remains resolute.
Will you leave a door open for me in your cave, like when we were kids? I know the transcendental law is in disorder, but that doesn't mean the truth is gone. I will carve a new path through the chaos, calculate better solutions than ever before, and delve into the phenomenal world to discover all it has to offer. By then, if I run into problems that I can't solve, can we talk about them together? Like we used to?
3 maxims were carved on the pillars of the Temple of Apollo. Know thyself, nothing in excess, and give a pledge and trouble is at hand. What? Does it mean that don't promise anything? What can he say? Alleviating doubts is a leader's duty.
Yes, a door will be left open for you, 37. Both you and your friends can come in.
It's a promise, Six.
She brushes away her tears and waves to him. It's still a goodbye, but it's no longer as devastating. The last of the Apiron followers have left, leaving only the Timekeeper's team on the beach.
Zeno sent a ship to pick us up.
Oh, okay.
Let's go, 37. The researchers of Laplace would love to meet you.
The girl's shoulders are trembling.
Are you nervous? Afraid of the unknown world?
Probably.
Maybe a little.
Considering that she was born here and lived her entire life on this island.
But I will get used to it.
Atta girl. She lets out a breath, clearing a tangle of emotions from her mind. A familiar smile lights up on her face.
Because the nature of the universe flows in all things alike.
All right. Is this the end of the chapter or not yet? Oh, another part. Color me surprised. I guess the viewers weren't joking when they were saying that those chapters are going to be longer and longer as they go. Oh well. Okay, I'll continue this chapter until it ends. Then I'll be taking a break and we'll be doing the event. We have time today. Nothing is rushing us, luckily. The umbrella and the knot. Okay.
We are prisoners within these cavern walls. Our gaze is held captive by the shadow's thrall. Until our hands clasped and our chains rattled, we united to break free from our shackles. The sightless joined forces with the soundless, and the voiceless uplifted the helpless. Together, we assembled a sliver of truth, a piece of the world hidden since youth.
We are back at the Foundation. Oh, we haven't seen you in a while, Mesmer Jr.
Have you got something for me, Mesmer?
Mesmer Jr. looks worn and tired, but her demeanor is still somewhat friendly. Dark circles are clearly visible under Mesmer Jr.'s eyes, just like every Laplace member encountered today. Well, they were working overtime.
Yes, they asked me to give this to you.
Umbrella?
The culmination of our research, the crystallization of man in all its wisdom, the protective gear against the storm.
Oh?
An umbrella. Something you personally don't really need.
But you can shield others with it. She takes a sarcastic jab as she opens the white satin umbrella. I'm seeing the knot there in it, I think.
It's called the Equilibrium Umbrella. This is the first model, consisting of a converter, a harmonizer, and a ritual core.
Right, so it's the complete tool.
The converter generates a balancing field that can cast rituals in the storm, taking account of the wielder's capabilities. The harmonizer's markings are inspired by the scroll of Apeiron. Madame Lucy tested it against 162 known side effects and found it to be highly effective.
Okay, that's promising.
The original scroll has been returned to the island. This is only a simplified and duplicated rendition.
The 162 curses aren't all of them, right?
Correct. There may be other unknown side effects, so the umbrella is only a prototype in the testing phase.
Well, it's still better than what we had before, which was Jack and Squat.
And the ritual core. At first it was called the 37 Lucy Knot in honor of the two main contributors. However, both of them turned it down.
Yes, I still remember what 37 said at the time. She would rather name it after the mathematical properties of the knot, even if it's too much of a mouthful.
No. 37 is not a name, and the truth should not be dressed up with anyone's name. I only found it. I didn't invent it. I do need something named after me to prove my sense of existence. But I'm not on the island anymore. I can understand that the imaginary numbers need to honor the discovery. You may use another contributor's name for it. I'm willing to accept that.
Madame Lucy showed no interest in the naming rights, so it was transferred to the third major contributor, Adler Hoffman.
Huh. Okay.
Sadly, researcher Adler also rejected the offer. At first, we nearly ended up using the date of that day as the name. But he changed his mind after confirming he could use his family name instead.
Ah, so a Hoffman knot. Probably did this...
The Hoffman knot?
Right. He did this to commemorate his sister, probably.
You named it after Madame Hoffman?
Yes. Researcher Adler Hoffman wanted to make sure that Greta Hoffman would never be forgotten for her selfless sacrifice. Level 4 Investigator Marcus, please accept this umbrella. It is rightfully yours.
Huh. Interesting. She receives an Equilibrium umbrella. Its pearly sheen creates an illusion of pure whiteness in front of her. Yeah, Marcus. I'm tearing up as well.
Given the incredible contributions you have made, you're welcome to apply for a well-deserved and extended vacation.
She really needs it.
No. I will request for permission to go out. My era has gone. But with this umbrella in hand, I will venture into the new world and marvel at what's to come.
Marcus looks up at the sky.
Will the sucker tort taste the same?
With the umbrella in her arms, she bows to the Foundation staff member. Then she turns and walks towards the light.
And lastly, the asymmetrical nuclide R in the handle of the umbrella is supposed to protect against the storm syndrome, but this still needs to be confirmed through testing.
It's okay. This is the one thing we need the most.
If you have no further questions about its usage, I'm heading back to the rehab center. The afflicted researchers there are in dire need of my magnet therapy.
Don't you think 1 is not enough for my needs?
Huh.
I think 5. No, 15 might be more helpful.
Well, that's kind of greedy of you. I mean, I understand why you are asking for that many, but I'm guessing that they don't have that many on hand yet. An unexpected question. Mesmer Jr. stops with a surprised look on her face.
My suitcase can't protect humans from the storm. They'll need the umbrella to survive. In the future missions, I may encounter lots of...
Mesmer Jr. interrupts.
Just a reminder, Timekeeper. This is only a prototype.
Right.
The application forms for the umbrella are available in the Foundation lobby. Feel free to apply for as many as you need.
She turns and leaves, not staying for another second.
Thank you, Mesmer.
The amount of sunlight is just right. The umbrella pops open, rotating with a touch of grace. Against the white fabric, the golden knot gleams with brilliance.
37 was right. It is a beautiful shape indeed.
Right. The Foundation Square has been restored to its former glory. Was it? I'm still seeing a lot of forest in it. A recognizable figure stands there, having waited for a long time.
Hey, Vertin! Did you get it done?
Yes, it went smoothly. I was expecting something more complicated. So, to get the umbrella, you only need to fill out forms.
Huh? That's not what I was talking about. I'm talking about the brave and glorious sacrifice of my Apple II. Don't you think the Foundation should compensate me with a shiny new ship?
Regulus, who gave you the Apple II in the first place? Foundation did.
Oh.
Oh? What do you mean, oh? Are you saying you totally forgot about it?
She had different priorities. Regulus closes in, offended, putting her hand on both her shoulders.
Easy, Regulus. Those people are likely buried in paperwork right now. Just be patient and wait.
She twirls a golden medal between her fingers. Oh, was she awarded one?
Lilia, how was your commendation ceremony?
They rewarded me for escorting the important item during the storm.
Well, that was well deserved, honestly.
How is delivering a scroll worthy of a reward? I'll say someone should be grateful I didn't crash into the committee building.
He tosses the medal to Regulus.
Take it. Might be useful for your alchemy.
Oh, let me see.
Regulus brings the medal to her mouth and takes a small bite.
Oh, thanks, mate. It's made of pure gold. On behalf of the pirate community, I thank you for your remarkable contribution to alchemy.
I have one too.
Druvis third walks over and places another medal in Regulus' hand. Was she awarded as well for her contribution? Like Lilia, she was rewarded for helping to deliver the scroll.
Please forgive my lack of contribution, Timekeeper.
You did well. No notes. It was alright. She missed the island trip because of the forest they planted in the Foundation Square. Fortunately, the square has been restored to its original condition.
It seems the awakened woods have embraced tranquility once more. Perhaps a sign of good things to come.
I'm glad to see you back on your feet, Miss Druvis. In fact, there's a place I'd like to introduce you to. A flourishing island that survived both war and the storm. I think a talented druid like you would be of great help to them.
Oh? So, are we sending Druvis to the island of Aperon?
Sounds like a place to look forward to.
The reunion is cut short by the pirates cheering.
Nice job, Druvis. It's not as big as Lilia's, but it is made of a rare kind of metal.
This is a good start, Captain. This apple thinks we only need 300 more medals to afford a new ship.
Right.
You read my mind, Mr. Chief Mate. When will Zeno's ceremony be held? This captain is not a fan of these ceremonies. So, could they just mail me my medal?
Bold of you to assume that you are getting one. The rockin' pirate coughs awkwardly, her eyes darting away behind the cover of her shades.
Did I miss something?
So the bee, let me tell you a lot. You've missed a lot.
Are we holding a medal exchanging party?
Sotheby!
Regulus rejoices at the sight of the little lady, tears welling in her eyes. She stretches out her hand, and Sotheby immediately gets the message.
But I don't have a medal. All I have is this big round golden...
Handful of weighty jewelry is placed in Regulus's hand. You what?
Captain, I think we can buy a new ship with this.
Where the hell did she get that? Regulus wraps her hand in a ginormous bear hug, moved to tears. Praise Sotheby, the most charitable woman in history, the revitalizer of the pirate community, the prime sponsor of the ingenious alchemist, and the bank vault on legs. Right.
Regulus! Regulus!
Sonetto runs over painting, waving a stack of stamped papers in her hand.
The timekeeper asked me to request a new ship for you, and we have the approval.
Oh?
The Foundation will rebuild Apple II and pay for its maintenance. Huh?
Funny you say that, Sonetto.
The trees sway in the breeze, and the sunlight streams through the leaves. It's a fine weather to set sail again.
Now we have 2 new ships.
Well, knowing our track record, one of them is going to sink in short order. Alright. Notification on receiving the Equilibrium Umbrella. Special notice to all. The prototype of the first generation personal storm immunity device, commonly known as the Equilibrium Umbrella, has been completed and validated through Miss Lucy's testing. Thank you all for your contributions and sacrifices. Everything you have done today will be forever remembered in our history. Special thanks listed in alphabetical order: Abigail, Adler, Afra, Alice. Miss Lucy should be the first on the list. But it's in alphabetical order, it's only fair. Anders sure got lucky with his name on this one. Oh well, he deserves it. I'm off on vacation. I'll treat everyone later. Remember to come along. Jesus Christ. I think this is the last part. And now the curtain call. Let me check something quickly. One moment. Okay, I'll take a short bathroom break and I'll do the last part. I think it is the last part at least. So I'll be right back. And I'm back. Okay. So, presumably this is the last part, considering the name of Curtain Call. She brushes off the raindrops from her shoulders and steps into the new world. Hey. The youth are sailing for a new world. while the old are saying goodbye to the world they knew. "15
plugs. This should be enough to cover all socket types at our destination. Simone, pass me the experiment log, please."
She brushes the dust off the desk and takes a final inventory of the lab's equipment. She leaves the lights off, not needing them any longer. An urgent knock sounds from the door.
"Come."
Before she finishes her protocol for human social customs, the door barges open.
Madame Lucy, is it true? Are you leaving Laplace?
Elaborate?
"Yes. The inquiry is over. This is the decision of all parties involved."
So what? Are they punishing her for slipping that ritual to Kakanya? Or what?
You have got to be kidding me!
Enigma pounds the table, sending the dust from the experiments into the air.
After all the incredible contributions you've made, they're suspending you?
Apparently.
This is absolutely ridiculous! Without you, there would be no umbrella, and everyone would have died from the side effects!
But many did perish because of me. I had underestimated the danger of the ritual, and it ended up spreading uncontrollably.
So what exactly happened with Kakanya and people she warned?
Did you not once have the same opinion, researcher Adler Hoffman?
The robot gives him a friendly nod.
"It is surprising to see you change your mind so quickly. But that is just what Laplace needs. The spirit of rationality and self-evolution."
The documents have been filled away. Simone walks up to Lucy and takes the heavy experimental apparatus from her hands. As the dust rises from the movements, Enigma lets out a cough. "Kitty, please, don't. Not now."
I can imagine how they came to this decision. They must have considered the backgrounds of all the employees, including their social status and race. After 8 years, we finally created an umbrella to withstand the storm. However, our methods for achieving such progress and breakthroughs were too much for some to handle.
Come here. Come here, you tiny creature.
People needed an outlet for their frustrations, so someone had to be held responsible for the accidents and casualties.
Right, so they made her a scapegoat, basically.
Numerous complaints have been filed against me, accusing me of being a cold, heartless opponent of humanity. Within the Foundation, Zeno, and even here, some are starting to question the idea of having an awakened piston as a leader of Laplace.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of weird. All things considered.
They argued about my arcane abilities, unsure if I had them under control or if they were becoming unstable and affecting my ability to make rational decisions.
The robot realizes an overlooked detail.
I did give the nod to Miss Kakanya in violation of the confidentiality agreement. But ultimately, it helped people survive, and that is all that matters.
So, who did survive? But Enigma does not pick up on this realization. He's already enraged, fist clenched in a ball.
So they're questioning your standing because you're an awakened? An arcanist?
Well, that wouldn't be the first time.
They're doubting the rationality of a machine that values technology and progress above all else? Could anything be more absurd? Even I, a human, was on the verge of giving up. It was you who convinced me to save our species.
My question is, why are you so upset? This does not affect you. In fact, you may be promoted. Laplace is setting up a new department, and you and Ulrich should have been invited to head it.
Weil das verdammt ungerecht ist!
Because this is damn unjust. Yeah, it is.
Diese Leute kennen dich nicht. Sie haben nicht mit dir gearbeitet oder dir zugehört. Und doch ernten sie freudig die Früchte deiner Arbeit, während sie dir keinen Respekt erweisen.
These people don't know you. They haven't worked with you or even listened to you. Yet they happily reap the fruits of your labor while showing you no respect. That's correct.
Der einzige Grund, warum du suspendiert wirst, ist, weil du, ein Erwachter, nicht wirklich sterben kannst. Oder sie würden dir jetzt eine Ehrenmedaille auf deinem Grabstein verleihen.
The only reason you are getting suspended is because you, unawakened, can't really die. Or they'd be honoring you with a medal on your grave right now.
Maybe you should take up that offer. At least you will get a promotion as a just reward.
I don't think she cares. Enigma opens his mouth, but no sound comes out. He wants to tell her she's wrong about him wanting the promotion, but he's too flustered and angry to speak. The robotic eye slit pulses. She continues in her unemotional tone.
By the way, Ulrich ended up receiving a medal. But like you, he was not exactly thrilled either. He is outside the committee building, refusing to eat in protest. But everyone knows how resilient the Awakened can be. It is going poorly.
Yeah, not much of a protest in this case. She shakes her head and sighs, deeply remorseful for her subordinate's behavior.
I will suggest that one of you take this position. No one knows this research better than the two of you.
Not a chance!
The research must progress, and you also need to ensure that the results will not be abused.
A valid concern.
Scheiße. You're right.
That she is. Enigma is caught in a fierce battle between his principles and his duty. But the robot doesn't notice these unimportant details. She nonchalantly walks over to the chair and runs a final battery check.
The punishment does not bother me, Researcher Hoffman. Power exists only in your dictionary, not mine. From the moment of my awakening, I have been unable to comprehend you creatures. And even now, that remains unchanged.
She states with no emotion, added to embellish her delivery. Enigma's mouth falls open in shock. Meanwhile, the robot just keeps on talking.
We operate in different ways, just like how our fuels differ. But the bright side is our paths align. Whether we are creatures or machines, humans or arcanists, most of us strive for a better life. It is this primal desire that drives progress. That is why I put on the mask of a human and work on improving my appearance and speech, all for the sake of better communication with you.
Honestly, that mask isn't helping at all.
Unfortunately, my efforts do not always pay off. Some say that the more human-like I appear, the more different I seem.
Yep, that's called Uncanny Valley. She shakes her head with regret.
But I am who I am, and my motivation is not to gain recognition from others. Our aligned path leads us to progress, and that is all there is to it.
I guess that's the best argument one could make. That's exactly why she should be the leader of this organization, because she is completely impartial.
Thanks to the invention of the umbrella, Laplace can now resume its research unhindered. And if there is someone better qualified to lead, I am more than willing to remain a humble cog in their machine. Besides, Miss C introduced me to a beautiful resort. The lake there is rich with arcane power, perfect for an awakened arcanist like me.
So she is basically having a vacation.
Not only is it a resort, but also an independent team with a good amount of freedom. My only concern is if they have adequate power supply. Oh, rust might be a problem. Perhaps I should ask Researcher X about his titanium derust machine.
The robot is happily thinking about her vacation plans. That's fair, I guess. She has completed all preparations for departure.
Time to go, Simone.
Madam Lucy, please take a look at this before you go.
A stack of reports is handed in front of her.
This is a report you compiled during the storm countdown, detailing 126 side effects and how the scroll alleviates them. I have some questions about the data for Type 34.
Lucy flips it open and dutifully goes through the list one last time.
Yes, I can see a few errors in here. Unfortunately, I have to complete all of the handover procedures today. Perhaps you can ask Mr. Ulrich about it later.
She hands it back to Enigma, but he does not reach for it. Looks at her, grief-stricken.
The side effects left a mark on you, didn't they?
Huh.
There are 162 side effects, not 126. There was also an obvious typo in the data for Type 34. We noticed it long ago and corrected it. Took only 5 seconds.
So, after all, the Awakened aren't completely immune to the side effects, it looks like.
You sacrificed so much for this report, yet you could not see such glaring mistakes. You called me Researcher Hoffman earlier, a name you haven't used since you took over Laplace 8 years ago. To avoid confusion with my sister, you and our colleagues started calling me Adler instead.
So maybe she lost some of her memories to this process? Moving closer, he asked grimly.
How much data did you lose to impair your research abilities like this?
Good question.
Is this why you have to leave Laplace now?
Huh. I guess this may be why she's so okay with this post-vacation. Because she's aware that she has been affected.
The progress you've made has helped so many, but at what cost to your own well-being?
The robot does not answer, a rare occurrence. From her side, Simone gently takes the file for her.
We should go, Madam Lucy.
Goodbye, Researcher Adler.
She corrected herself.
Thank you for correcting my mistake.
She walks away with steely steps, not looking back.
All right,
Fine.
He grips the door frame, ignoring the strange looks from the hallway.
I'll take up that role and do what you've been nagging me to do. I'll take care of those pesky committees. But just so you know, I'm not doing this for the higher-ups who look down on us, but for the people who look up to us from below.
That's fair. The footsteps continue in rhythm. Her duty here is done. My job here is done. Flicks her cape. Then another voice calls out.
Madam Lucy!
The corridors are bustling with people. Researchers, clerks, directors and security. Every Laplace employee in the corridors from bottom to top floor. The same voice shouts.
All attention! Salute!
Paper litters. Papers litter the air like snowflakes. Everyone says goodbye in their own language, tossing piles over the railings. The countless drafts, designs and poems from the past 24 hours rain down. They were created for the storm and have completed their mission. Such as did the robot.
Simone, why are they throwing papers at me? Are they rejecting
Jesus
me
Christ.
and banishing me?
On the contrary, madam, they are showing their reverence.
Oh, I see.
The robot is without a face and a motion module today, so she turns away from the crowd. The sunlight dances on her metallic surface, enveloping her in a golden aura.
Let us go, Simone.
Let us
I
aura
missed the
farm.
Laplace chargers already.
I guess it's her equivalent
There
of saying that
is
she is
a
missing.
230-volt bath at the resort, right?
I guess this was her way of saying that she'll miss the meals here. The end. So that's the end of the chapter 7th. Oh, and there's one more star to look at. Pale green characters flicker incessantly, and in a second, dozens of messages appear on the fluorescent screen at the same time. It's clear to see that life must go on. Read the contents. 001 Anonymous. Number... Lucy has resigned. Who'll be in charge now? Ulrich is the second most reliable awakened in the computer... excuse me. Ugh, that was bad. Let's try that once again. Ulrich is the second most reliable awakened in the Scientific Computing Center. Someone other than Lucy, I guess. No one wants that seat. It's electrified. Ulrich is the most opposed to this idea. He's on a hunger strike in front of the community building. I guess he'd rather starve to death than sit in the electric chair. In that electric chair. How about John? He's a man with clear logic and good project management skills. Lucy was an excellent leader. The casualties this time shouldn't be her fault. The best option is to let her come back. With John, I hope you don't mean the one who speaks in a hexadecimal. I recommend John from the Mechanical Engineering Group. He's very creative and forward-thinking. Definitely the right person to run Scientific Computing Center. Last week's major power outage was caused by that John from the Mechanical Engineering team restarting all their lab machines in parallel. He's been suspended and has been undergoing psychiatric evaluation since then. I'd rather pick John from the medical team. John from the medical team caused a huge explosion while testing a new drug formula last month. Luckily, since he's from the medical team, help was at hand. And he's still sleeping like a baby in a hospital bed right now. How many Johns do they have at the computing center? What about John from the theoretical physics lab? His projects are absolutely safe. There's never been any danger, and he won't be in any. And there won't be any in the future. And he only cares about logic in all things. Simply the perfect candidate for the man in charge. John from the theoretical physics lab applied for a transfer a long time ago. The only person still hanging on to that group is probably Adler, who forgot to transfer his files. So Adler is indeed currently the best theoretical physicist in all of Laplace. No need to even add one off. He's the guy. In the entire scientific computing center, we can't find a John so suitable to take charge. Isn't there a John with the judgment, execution, and long-term scientific vision of Lucy? One who will unconditionally support our research and even be willing to approve funding for X's strange inventions? Or the new theories on the study of ley lines? A better sense of humor than Lucy would also be a plus. I think you might be able to find a John funnier than Lucy, but that's it. My suggestion is that we all join Ulrich in preventing any politician John or placeholder John from being put in that position. And on that basis, demand Lucy's return. Why does it have to be a John? Good idea. See you in front of the committee building. I'll bring a few decks of cards. And can someone tell me why we're only considering Johns? Yes, elaborate on that. Pretty please. So yeah, that's chapter 3rd done. Hell, am I saying the chapter 7th? Yeah, we finished chapter 7 and it was a long one, the longest one to date. 50 parts in total, Jesus Christ. So yeah, I think that I'll take a short break, grab something to eat, and I'll be back to another stream of Reverse 1999, and we'll be doing the event, starting it at least. The first event that I'm doing, which one was it? Reflections. God damn it. After the rain, the curtains of a new world is about to be drawn, but before the old world takes its final bow, please take... People on the stage have a few words to say. I want to do something else, god damn it. Hey Vertin, you came just in time. He comes over here. You can check the progress of the dialogues here, complete all dialogues, tasks to obtain Soneto's limited garment. Not now, game. As I was saying, after the break, we'll be doing Florid to the Golden City event. We'll be starting it today, at the very least. So, for now, thank you for watching, if you did. If you missed anything, I recommend checking out my YouTube channel, where the VODs are being stored. It's linked in the description on Twitch and under the chat command of exclamation YouTube. You can get the link this way from the bot. And if you want to see my upcoming schedule for the next week, that will be posted on my Discord server, which is also in the description or under the command of exclamation Discord on the chat. So, we'll see each other in half an hour with some more Reverse 1999.